You are not here by chance. Every season of your life has been preparing you for this moment, for a mission far greater than yourself. You feel the pull within your spirit, an urgency that refuses to let you remain ordinary. This is not just a stirring in your heart, it is a divine summons. The world needs what you carry, and heaven itself has marked your life with purpose. You cannot hide, you cannot delay, because your assignment is waiting. This is your call to rise, and your time to walk in destiny is now. To understand your higher calling, you must first recognize that life is not a random sequence of events. You were not created to simply exist, to drift through days without aim or intention. Ordinary living is marked by survival, working, eating, sleeping, and repeating the cycle without depth or vision. But purposeful living is different. It carries weight, direction, and intention. A higher calling is the realization that your existence is tied to something beyond yourself, something eternal and significant. When you live with purpose, every decision, every action, and every moment carries meaning. You no longer measure your life by temporary gains or fleeting pleasures. Instead, you measure it by impact, how you influence others, how you honor God, and how you align with the greater mission assigned to your life. Purposeful living lifts you above the noise of distraction and positions you to hear the voice of direction more clearly. You may already sense that you are set apart. It shows in the way you feel restless when you try to settle for less. It shows when you notice that ordinary pursuits never fully satisfy you. You find yourself searching for something deeper, something that makes sense of your gifts, struggles, and unique journey. That restlessness is not emptiness. It is evidence of your higher calling. Being chosen means that your life carries direction even when you cannot see the full picture. The challenges you have faced, the victories you have won, and even the failures that humbled you have all been shaping you for your mission. Nothing in your story has been wasted. Every piece is part of the design that prepares you for what you are called to accomplish. Your higher calling matters because it is not only about you. It is about the people connected to you, the lives that will be touched by your obedience, and the transformation that will unfold because you chose to walk in purpose. When you align with your calling, you become a vessel through which God's will flows into the world. To live without answering your calling is to deny the reason you were created, but to embrace it is to step into fulfillment, peace, and eternal significance. You were not made for ordinary existence. You were made for divine purpose, and that purpose is waiting for you to say yes. With a higher calling comes great responsibility. Being chosen is not a title of honor alone. It is a charge that requires weight, commitment, and accountability. To be chosen means that you carry something that others cannot, something entrusted to you by God Himself. This responsibility is not light, and it cannot be ignored, because it carries eternal consequences. Your life is not yours alone. Every choice you make ripples outward, influencing those around you in ways seen and unseen. When you obey your calling, others find encouragement, direction, and hope. But when you neglect it, when you hide from your assignment, others suffer loss. The people you were meant to reach, the lives you were meant to touch, and the opportunities meant to bless others can remain unfulfilled because of hesitation or disobedience. Responsibility means understanding that your mission is bigger than comfort. It demands sacrifice, discipline, and faithfulness. At times, it will ask you to set aside what is easy in order to do what is right. It will require you to carry yourself with integrity, to speak truth even when it is unpopular, and to remain steadfast even when the world around you wavers. Responsibility is not about perfection, it is about obedience. Accountability before God is at the center of this responsibility. You will one day give an account for the gifts, opportunities, and time placed in your hands. The question will not be whether you lived like everyone else, but whether you fulfilled the purpose written over your life. This accountability should not instill fear, but should awaken reverence. It is a reminder that your mission is sacred, and that your obedience matters in ways you may never fully see. Ignoring this responsibility is not neutral. To delay or dismiss your calling is to deny the help, healing, or hope that others were meant to receive through you. Your mission is not an option. It is a necessity. Countless lives are connected to your yes. The world is waiting for you to take your place. When you align yourself with God's will, you step into a partnership that ensures success, not because of your strength, but because of His power working through you. Recognizing your responsibility is the beginning of true obedience. And once you understand the weight of what has been entrusted to you, there can be no turning back. You must walk forward in faith. When it comes to your higher calling, time is never neutral. Every day you wait, every moment you hesitate is a moment lost that can never be regained. Purpose demands urgency because opportunities do not remain open forever. There are windows of destiny, specific times when you are called to act. If you allow fear, doubt, or procrastination to silence your response, those windows can close, leaving behind regret and missed potential. Delaying your mission has a cost. Spiritually, delay weakens your connection to the very purpose that gives your life meaning. The longer you push your assignment aside, the easier it becomes to silence your conscience, to numb your sensitivity, and to drown out the voice of God. Personally, delay leads to frustration and stagnation. You begin to feel stuck, restless, and unfulfilled, because deep within you, your spirit knows you were made for more. Hesitation not only impacts you, but it affects others as well. Someone's breakthrough could depend on your obedience today. Someone's healing, encouragement, or hope might be tied to the word you are supposed to speak or the action you are supposed to take. When you wait, their need remains unmet. Your delay becomes their delay. This is why urgency is not about pressure. It is about compassion. It is about realizing that your calling is bigger than you, and time wasted is impact withheld. The enemy of purpose often disguises itself in the illusion of later. You tell yourself you will begin when you feel more prepared, more confident, or more supported. But later quickly becomes never. The truth is, you will never feel completely ready, and that is by design. You are not meant to lean on your readiness, but on God's strength. The time to act is not tomorrow, not when conditions are perfect, but now. Your mission is alive in this very moment, and every step you take in obedience sets divine order into motion. If you feel the weight of responsibility pressing on your spirit, do not silence it. Respond, move, step forward. Your destiny cannot wait, and neither can those who are waiting for you. One of the greatest truths you must hold on to as you walk in your higher calling is this: you are never alone. Though your mission may feel overwhelming, though the path may look uncertain, you are surrounded by divine presence and sustained by unseen strength. God does not call you and then abandon you. He equips, guides, and walks with you every step of the way. Faith is the anchor that steadies you when doubt tries to shake you. It is the assurance that even when you cannot see the full picture, God is working behind the scenes. You may not always understand His timing or His methods, but you can be certain of His character. He is faithful and His promises do not fail. When you step forward in obedience, He provides what you need in the exact moment you need it. Think of how many times you have faced situations where you felt unprepared, and yet strength came. Think of the times you thought you were alone, but doors opened, solutions appeared, or comfort arrived just when you needed it most. These were not coincidences. They were reminders that unseen guidance was already at work. The same divine hand that carried you through the past will sustain you in the mission ahead. Spiritual principles are also your shield and empowerment. Prayer becomes your direct line of communication with heaven, filling you with clarity and courage. The Word of God becomes your sword, equipping you to cut through lies and discouragement. Faith-filled action becomes your armor, protecting you against fear and doubt. Each of these principles ensures you are not fighting this battle in your own strength, but with divine reinforcement. God equips those He calls. He does not require perfection, only willingness. Moses doubted his ability to speak, yet God gave him words. David was underestimated, yet God gave him victory over giants. Esther feared approaching the king, yet God gave her favor to save her people. These stories remind you that your inadequacy is not a barrier, because God's strength is perfected in weakness. When you walk in alignment with Him, divine support surrounds you on every side. Angels are assigned to guard you, wisdom is released to guide you, and supernatural strength is imparted to sustain you. You do not walk alone. You walk with heaven at your side. And with God's guidance, there is no mission too great and no enemy too strong. Every calling encounters resistance, and often the first battle you face is within your own mind. Fear and doubt whisper louder than truth when you step into new territory. You may fear failure, worrying that if you try and stumble, you will prove yourself unworthy. You may fear rejection, wondering how others will respond when you step outside of the ordinary. Or you may fear unworthiness, believing the lie that you are not good enough, spiritual enough, or capable enough to fulfill what has been entrusted to you. But fear is not a sign that you are weak. Fear is a sign that you are close to something significant. The enemy of your soul knows that if you step forward in courage, the impact of your obedience will shake more than just your life. That is why fear shows up as intimidation, doubt, and hesitation, to keep you from moving forward. The shift begins when you recognize that fear is a liar. Failure is not final. It is a teacher. Rejection is not the end. It is redirection toward those who will receive you. And unworthiness is not your identity, because your worth is not determined by your perfection, but by God's choice to call you. If He has marked you for this mission, then no weakness or insecurity can disqualify you. Faith is the antidote to doubt. Faith declares, "I may not see the way, but I trust the one who leads me." Courage does not mean you never feel fear. It means you choose to act in spite of fear. Each step you take builds momentum, and each act of obedience strengthens your resolve. The more you move, the smaller fear becomes. Your mission is greater than your fears. The people waiting on you are more important than the opinions that might reject you. The transformation that will come through your life is far weightier than the doubts that press against your mind. You do not overcome fear by waiting for it to disappear. You overcome fear by walking through it with faith. And as you move forward, courage will rise within you, and doubt will lose its grip. Every great mission requires preparation. You cannot step into the fullness of your calling without first being equipped, sharpened, and ready for what lies ahead. Preparation is the bridge between vision and fulfillment. Without it, even the greatest calling can remain unrealized. Your mission deserves your intentional readiness, both inwardly and outwardly. The first layer of preparation is internal. Your mind must be renewed and strengthened. Discipline in thought is essential because the battle often begins with what you believe about yourself and about God. Train your mind to focus on truth rather than fear. Let prayer shape your perspective and keep your spirit attuned to divine guidance. Prayer is not simply a ritual. It is your lifeline. It clears away confusion, brings clarity in decision-making, and fills you with courage to keep moving forward. Your spirit also requires nurturing. Spending time in meditation, worship, and reflection allows you to align with the voice of God more clearly. The stronger your connection to Him, the easier it becomes to discern His direction. Internal preparation ensures that when storms come, your foundation is unshakable. External preparation is equally vital. Your mission will require skills, strategies, and practical action. This may mean pursuing education, developing talents, or learning new abilities that align with your calling. It may involve building routines that foster consistency or organizing your time so you are focused and intentional. Just as a warrior sharpens his sword before battle, you must sharpen your abilities before stepping fully into your assignment. Preparation multiplies your effectiveness. Habits play a crucial role. What you do daily shapes who you become. Align your habits with your purpose. Reading, learning, exercising discipline, and surrounding yourself with people who encourage growth. Eliminate distractions that drain your energy and commit to practices that strengthen your character and resilience. Remember, preparation is not about waiting endlessly until you feel perfect. It is about actively building the strength, knowledge, and focus that will carry you through your mission. God equips those He calls, But He also expects you to steward that calling with intentional readiness. Your preparation is your weapon. It is what allows you to step onto the battlefield confident, focused, and armed with the tools you need. Every hour spent in discipline, every prayer whispered in faith, every skill developed in diligence, these are the sharpening of your sword. And when the moment arrives, you will be ready to fight, to lead, and to fulfill your mission. Every great journey begins with a single step. Too often, you convince yourself that you must have the entire path figured out before you move. But the truth is, clarity comes through action. The first steps you take toward your mission may feel small, even imperfect, but they are the keys that unlock greater vision and momentum. Start where you are, with what you have. If your mission involves speaking, begin by sharing your voice with one person, then a few more. If your calling is to serve, start by helping in your immediate circle before reaching wider communities. If your purpose requires learning, commit to one book, one course, or one practice at a time. These steps may not look grand, but they are seeds. Seeds that will grow when planted in faith and watered with persistence. Do not wait for perfect conditions. You will never feel entirely ready, and the path will never look completely smooth. Boldness is not the absence of uncertainty. It is the decision to move forward in spite of it. When you act, even if your steps feel shaky, you invite divine guidance to meet you along the way. God cannot steer a still vessel, but when you begin to move, His hand directs your course. Persistence in the early stages is critical. The first steps often bring resistance, doubts, distractions, or discouragement from those who do not see your vision. Do not mistake opposition for failure. It is a sign that you are moving in the right direction. Each step you take strengthens your faith, builds your confidence, and proves to your own heart that you are capable of walking this path. Celebrate small victories. Every act of obedience is progress. Each completed step affirms that you are no longer standing still. Momentum builds when you focus on the next right action instead of the entire journey ahead. Remember this: the mission does not demand perfection, it demands courage. By beginning now, by acting boldly with what is in your hand, you open the door to greater clarity and greater impact. The first step may be the hardest, but it is also the most important. And once you take it, the next one becomes easier, until the mission that once felt impossible becomes the very path you are confidently walking. Starting your mission is powerful, but staying consistent is what transforms purpose into lasting impact. Many begin with passion, but lose momentum when faced with distractions, fatigue, or discouragement. That is why discipline and focus must become your shield and compass. Without them, even the most anointed mission can drift off course. Consistency is built through systems, not emotion. Passion may ignite the fire, but discipline keeps it burning. Establish daily routines that align with your calling. Set aside time for prayer, study, reflection, and action. These habits serve as anchors when feelings waver. Discipline turns intention into lifestyle, and lifestyle shapes destiny. Beware of distractions. They rarely appear as obvious threats. Often, they come dressed as harmless entertainment, unnecessary busyness, or tempting shortcuts. Every distraction steals time, energy, and focus from your mission. The enemy of purpose is not always failure. It is often dilution, when your attention is scattered across lesser things instead of directed toward what truly matters. Accountability is another powerful safeguard. Walk with people who remind you of your mission and refuse to let you settle for less. Share your goals with those who encourage growth, not comfort in mediocrity. Having others who check in on your progress strengthens your resolve when motivation weakens. Fatigue will come, but preparation can overcome it. Rest is not weakness, it is renewal. Even the strongest warriors need moments of restoration to continue the fight. Balance your mission with rhythms of rest so that your strength can be sustained for the long journey ahead. Keep your eyes on the long-term vision. Temporary setbacks will arise. Plans may fail, progress may stall, and critics may appear. Do not allow these moments to blind you to the greater picture. A farmer does not abandon the harvest because a storm passes over the field. Likewise, you must endure through the temporary, knowing that your obedience today builds eternal results. Consistency is not perfection. It is persistence. Focus is not about never being distracted. It is about always returning to your true course. When you guard your mission with discipline, accountability, and vision, no force can derail the destiny planted within you. When you embrace your mission and walk in obedience, the rewards that follow are far greater than anything the world can offer. Fulfillment is no longer tied only to material gain, but rooted in a deep sense of alignment with divine purpose. You begin to experience life on a higher level, where peace flows not from circumstances, but from knowing you are exactly where you are meant to be. One of the first rewards is inner transformation. Purpose reshapes the way you think, act, and view the world. Fear loses its grip, doubt weakens, and your confidence grows stronger with every step you take in alignment with your calling. You begin to see yourself not as ordinary, but as chosen and equipped. That shift alone changes everything. It brings a new boldness that cannot be shaken. Spiritual blessings also accompany obedience. God does not send you on a mission without pouring out His favor, wisdom, and strength. Doors begin to open that you could never force on your own. Guidance comes at the right time, and provision shows up when you need it most. These are not coincidences. They are the fingerprints of divine support, affirming that you are walking the right path. Beyond your personal blessings, the impact you leave on others is immeasurable. Your life becomes a light, inspiring those who cross your path. The words you speak, the actions you take, and the example you live out ripple into families, communities, and even generations. The reward is knowing that your obedience changes lives, pulling others closer to truth, hope, and transformation. Do not mistake success for temporary achievements or fleeting recognition. True success is measured by eternal value, the souls touched, the lives lifted, the hearts healed, and the legacy left behind. When you fulfill your mission, you walk away with something that money cannot buy and status cannot grant. The peace of knowing you completed the assignment entrusted to you. The reward of perseverance is not only what you gain in this life, but what echoes into eternity. Every act of faithfulness is recorded, every sacrifice remembered, every step of obedience honored. This is the reward that never fades, the treasure that outlasts time. Every action you take, no matter how small it may seem in the moment, carries weight beyond what you can see. Your mission is not just about your personal growth or achievements. It is about the lives you touch, the hearts you inspire, and the legacy you leave behind. When you step into your higher calling, your choices ripple outward, creating waves of influence that reach further than you realize. Think of how one encouraging word can lift a weary soul, how one act of courage can inspire someone else to rise, how one step of obedience can open doors for future generations. Your mission is never confined to you alone. It is woven into a greater tapestry of divine purpose that affects families, communities, and even nations. This is why your obedience matters so deeply. As you walk in your calling, you begin to recognize that your life carries eternal value. What you build in alignment with God's plan does not fade with time. It endures. Your impact becomes a testimony that speaks long after your voice has grown silent. Others will look back at your faithfulness and find strength to continue their own journeys. Your example becomes a guide, a light in the darkness, reminding people that purpose is real and destiny is worth pursuing. Legacy is not measured by wealth or possessions, but by the transformation you spark in others. When you live with intention, you leave behind something priceless: hope, courage, and faith that inspire others to rise higher. You may never fully see the reach of your influence, but heaven sees it. Every prayer, every sacrifice, every step in obedience is recorded, and its effects multiply across time. Reflect for a moment who might be waiting for your courage, whose destiny is tied to your decision to step forward. Your mission carries responsibility, but it also carries privilege, the privilege of shaping lives and planting seeds that will continue to grow long after you. Never underestimate the power of your impact. Your life is not ordinary. You are chosen to create ripples that stretch into eternity, leaving behind a mark that time cannot erase. That is the true weight and wonder of your mission. You have heard the call, and now the choice rests in your hands. You are not here by coincidence. You are here because you are chosen, because your life carries a mission too great to ignore. Everything within you has been prepared for this moment, and heaven itself stands behind you. You are equipped, supported, and strengthened by a power far greater than your own. There is no reason to doubt, no excuse to delay. The time is now. You have walked through the understanding of your higher calling, the weight of responsibility, the urgency of action, and the assurance of divine guidance. You have been reminded that fear and doubt cannot stand when faith leads the way. You have been given steps to prepare, to take action, to remain focused, and to reflect on the impact you are destined to make. All of this has brought you here to a final decision. Will you rise and step into your mission? Do not wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow is not promised. The world needs what you carry today. Someone's breakthrough, someone's healing, someone's faith may depend on your obedience. When you move, chains break. When you obey, lives are transformed. When you act, heaven rejoices, because you are walking in alignment with the very reason you were created. So take courage and step forward boldly. Let nothing hold you back, not fear, not doubt, not the weight of the past. Your future is calling, and your mission is waiting. You are chosen, and you are ready. Before you leave this message, I encourage you to stay connected. If this word has spoken to your heart, make the decision to subscribe, to join this growing community of purpose-driven souls, and to walk this journey together. Share your voice in the comments because your testimony may strengthen someone else. And never forget, you are not alone. Divine strength surrounds you, and every step you take is guided. Your mission begins now. Act with faith, act with urgency, and let your life shine as proof that you were chosen for such a time as this.